Question: if someone treats you like you don't matter, would you treat that person like they mean the whole world to you? The answer is a blatant no. As the saying goes, if someone holds you with one hand, you hold him with one hand as well. If he holds you with both hands, then you hold him with both hands as well. Since the Lebanese people and much of the Arab nations by extension treat Africans like garbage, the Senegalese government, spearheaded by Bassirou Diomaye Faye and no-nonsense Ousmane Sonko, have just stamped their feet on the dehumanization of the Senegalese people in Lebanon, and boy, you will be shocked at what they have just done. Let's dive right into what's really going on. It has been a long custom of the Arabian Peninsula meting out all forms of dehumanized treatment on Africans, and they would get away with it as African leaders do nothing about it. But this has come to an end, as the Senegalese authorities have just done the unthinkable. This is what they have done. Senegal has banned Lebanese women from giving birth in their hospitals in Senegal. Yes, you heard me right. The Senegalese regime have ordered that the Lebanese pregnant women to not give birth or deliver in Senegal, all for the right reasons.
Léegi beneen bi mooy interdiction formelle aux femmes libanaises d'enfanter et d'accoucher au Sénégal de la même manière qu'il est interdit aux femmes noires de le faire au Liban.
This is the first of its kind in Senegal, kicking out the Lebanese, as all the former regimes of Senegal have taken no such steps against the hostility of the Lebanese people and the greater Arabian Peninsula, by extension against the African population in the Arab countries. In fact, we have seen many African presidents turn beggars, leading to them not doing anything about their citizens being maltreated in the Middle East, despite knowing fully well that a black skin holds no significance in an Arabian dictionary. We know this might come as a surprise to most of you out there, considering the fact that Pastefs' founding father, Ousmane Sonko, whose party is the current Senegalese governing regime, has his candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye as Senegal's new president, making Pastef the ruling regime. Ousmane Sonko is a humane individual, just as Bassirou Diomaye Faye. Pastef stands for the voice of the people, but how come they are bringing inhumane treatment to people, especially pregnant women? The answer is clear. Yes, both the Senegalese leadership, Bassirou Diomaye Faye and Ousmane Sonko, stand for the interest of the Senegalese people and won't see people suffering without doing something about the situation. But there is another side to these two Senegalese leaders, which is the fact that they don't condone nonsense, which has made them significantly different from all previous Senegalese presidents. Remember, we said that the Senegalese authorities have placed a ban on Lebanese pregnant women, stopping them from giving birth in Senegal for the right reasons. The key word here is for the right reasons, and everything will make sense as we explain in the next couple of seconds. Let's dive into the reasons for the move by the Senegalese authorities. The reasons why the Senegalese authorities have placed a ban on Lebanese pregnant women are simple and clear. The country of Lebanon has banned Senegalese women and all African women from giving birth in Lebanon without any sound justification. African women won't be allowed to give birth in Lebanon, including Senegalese women and even Gambian women, unless they do so in a private Lebanese hospital that respects the rights of women regardless of their color, race, or ethnicity. This means that if Senegambian women should get pregnant in Lebanon, they will be returned back home to Senegambia to give birth. Question: is this not injustice to womanhood just for who they are? Comment down below. This is the dominant reason why the Senegalese authorities have also decided to match up with the Lebanese energy by placing an embargo on Lebanese pregnant women from giving birth in Senegal. After all, if Senegalese women should not be allowed to give birth in Lebanon, why should Lebanese women be allowed to give birth in Senegal? It doesn't make sense. It will only make sense to the Gambian government, whose interest is not for the betterment and respect of the Gambian people. If you don't respect your own people, can you stand up for them against other people? The answer is no. Pastef respects the Senegalese people, hence the reason why they hate seeing the Senegalese people being disrespected in another territory for no just cause. After all, what does Senegal need from the Lebanese people? Absolutely nothing. Lebanon is another poor country that just likes raising their shoulders without anything to show for it. After which they will claim they are Muslims. What kind of Muslims are they that they are not adhering to the teachings of Islam? This is called a disease of the heart of the Lebanese people. It is high time African presidents match up to the Lebanese people and put them in check. After all, they are not better than us Africans. Gambian women are not allowed to give birth in Lebanon, but you won't see any concerns raised by the sleeping Gambian government. What a shame knowing that your interest doesn't matter or is not a concern to someone you have put in charge to protect your interest. This is a humble request to please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel, a Gambian-owned channel looking into the happenings of the motherland that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. Reports on the treatment of Senegalese workers, particularly women in Lebanon, have revealed concerning trends regarding exploitation and abuse. Approximately 250,000 migrant domestic workers, including Senegalese, operate under Lebanon's kafala system, a sponsorship-based labor system that ties workers' residency to their employers. According to Human Rights Watch, this system often leads to cases of withheld wages, physical abuse, and limited access to legal recourse, as workers are at risk of deportation if they leave their employer without permission. Many workers report working long hours without breaks or adequate rest days. Senegalese women, like many African domestic workers in Lebanon, often face systemic discrimination and dehumanizing conditions. Reports estimate that 94% of female domestic workers in Lebanon experience some form of mistreatment or denial of rights, including restriction of movement and denial of food or health care. Advocacy groups indicate that Senegalese women are particularly vulnerable due to language barriers, as Arabic is the primary language spoken in many Lebanese households. This further isolates them and complicates efforts to seek help or report abuse. Efforts by both the Senegalese government and international organizations to protect migrant workers have gained traction recently, with Senegal issuing warnings about the risks involved in working in certain countries under the kafala system. In 2021, Senegal started pushing for bilateral agreements to ensure better conditions for its citizens abroad. Humanitarian organizations have also been actively documenting cases of abuse and pressing for reforms to dismantle the kafala system, hoping to establish stronger protections and labor rights for migrant workers in Lebanon. Now, do you see why the Pastef regime is hot on this issue, fighting for the interest of the Senegalese people? This is a humble reminder to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel. Thank you so much and much appreciated. In conclusion, both the Senegambians and the Lebanese, as well as the Greater Arab Peninsula, are all Muslims and are supposed to stand for each other and not let this thing of color, which is a disease of the heart, get in between. The Senegambians care about the teachings of Islam, hence you don't see them treat the Arabs in a dehumanizing way, as they are Muslims. But it is clear that the Arabs won't stick to the Islamic teachings by seeing Senegambians as brothers and sisters in faith, as their hearts are filled with all forms of diseases against the black Muslim community. For this reason, it is fair to say that the Senegambian Muslim community should put these Arabs in check and not condone any form of ill treatment and distance themselves from them. It is high time the Gambian government follows the footsteps of the Senegalese authorities, put the Lebanese people in check, and make them pay for their injustices against the Gambian people. They should equally not be allowed to give birth in the Gambia and Africa, by extension, unless they come back to their right senses and regain their sanity. If this issue persists, then the Arabs should be shown their way out of Senegambia and Africa at large.